Hey, Shalom Akim, Shalom, Kahala, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah HaKodash. We send double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. We send much peace, love, and salutations to you, Akim, out there pushing the word, sincerity, and truth. It's Brother Ariala. I just want to come with a real quick lesson. It was the Passover. Of course, brothers, we had a beautiful Passover service. Um, and this time of the year always brings in a mindfulness of you know, putting away what we want and doing what the Most High wants and just following orders. When you look at the Passover, there's a lot of sentimental things that people could feel as far as what they wanted in life or in the world. But in these times, we have to put aside our emotions and what we want and focus on, you know, doing what's necessary for the body of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And on this particular lesson, because we're coming into the times where things are getting more tight, things are getting more serious, things are getting more like down to the nitty gritty. I wanted to talk a little bit about adversity and charity and the combination of those two. Now, there's tons of scriptures that I could go to really highlight this idea, and I'm pretty sure that whoever tunes into this live stream, there's going to be a ton of scriptures that come to mind that you can post and really kind of highlight this idea. But I just picked out about 3 or 4 scriptures that I wanted to talk about because we mentioned this at the sermon speaking Friday nights, maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I can't remember. One of the brothers had took a clip from it, but I wanted to come and do something on in a sit down form and kind of address it in this manner and really kind of have it like where it's more of a calm setting. Because when we doing this, when we talking about this stuff, it's gonna get to the point to where we're gonna be in very uncomfortable situations. It can be or it can get that way. And the brotherhood, this ministry is a hedge of protection in a way that the people in this world, they don't have. And we have to reverence that. We have to thank and give glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushua for that, for this brotherhood, because you got brothers and sisters all across the world that believe the same thing that you believe, that are following the same thing that you follow. And with that comes along like a protection in a way. Speaking in the sense of the churches, I want to talk about charity. The First Corinthians, the 13th chapter, is like famous for this idea of charity and brotherly love. But I want people to recognize what was happening with Paul as he was going through his travels to the churches and the necessity of this mindset. Because you have to remember that after the Lord died on the cross and his ministry and his gospel was going out, these people that was in these churches didn't necessarily know each other. They just knew about Yahweh Shai. They believed on what happened, and they were all coming together. They didn't know each other, just like we didn't know each other when we all came into this truth. So there's a spirit and a mindset that we have to come with of brotherliness, brotherly love that matters. And I know, but I see the brother Prashad just hit the chat, man. Shalom, Mark. I know you're gonna back me up on this. First Corinthians 13:1, it says, though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have not charity, I am become as sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I can remove mountains and not have charity, I am nothing. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned and have not charity, it profited me nothing. Charity suffereth long, it is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself. It is not puffeth up. Okay, it doth not behave itself unseemly. Seeketh not her own. Is not easily provoked. Thinketh no evil. Rejoiceth not in iniquity, but rejoiceth in the truth. Beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things. We're going to have to exhibit maximum charity coming into the times of Jacob's trouble. And when I'm talking about this is how we're dealing with each other as brothers are going through afflictions, infirmities, situations. When we see the situations going on with inflation, we can talk about even on an economic sense of charity. Brothers might have to room together and you've never roomed with anyone before. You want to be by yourself. Well, charity. You got to learn how to be hospitable. Tithing right now should be at an all-time high, right? To make sure that, the apostles, elders, brothers, our camps are taken care of. You should, here in Dallas, we have every 2 weeks we do our tithing. We do one for the Dallas camp, one for the apostles, one for the Dallas camp, one for the apostles. Throughout the weeks, brothers give alms and everything like that. Be mindful, be charitable. Charity, your weekly budget. Are you overspending? Or are you in a situation where you really shouldn't be there? Is it a hindrance to the body because one bad thing that can happen throws you completely off course? Is your mindset really to make sure that the body's taken care of before you? Charity. The mindset that we need to make sure to be carrying into the times of adversity should be, is what I'm doing helping the body? Am I doing my part for the body, the ministry? All right. These are the mindsets that we need to make sure that we're developing and speaking about amongst the brothers in our camps, amongst the churches. Okay. Because it's a big deal. We're coming into a time to where you got to remove the whole ass niggardry out of your system. Certain things and time commitments and this and that, you're not wanting to do this and communicate on that end and that end. It normally gets on your nerves. You got to get over that, man. The little stuff that we did, like our idiosyncrasies of what we want, we got to get over that. We're not in a time of our emotions, of what we want. We're in a time of what does Yahweh Shem Yahushua want. You men getting underneath the wheel and getting into order in the brotherhood, okay? Certain lines of communications, thoughts. You want to talk to this brother in that camp or do no, man, we ain't in the time of doing all that. We're in the time of getting tight with your camp, right? And following order. And sometimes it's not going to be what you want. It ain't going to be how you like it. It ain't about how you like it. It's about what does Yahweh Shem Yahushua want. Okay? We're in the time of really, really like soldiering up. And this goes for the men and the women. So you women that want to say you're a part of this thing, but you really like the sentiment and the mindset of really just following order. One of the things that I understand is you don't have to be a robot to follow order. Get over it. How you want it in this world, it ain't gonna be like that. Get over it. We have to get over it. The men have to get over it. Yeah, do we consult and complain about certain things? Absolutely. That we're set up to put out a continual complaint for a change in the world. But ultimately, we can't do it at the detriment of the service of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. We can't complain to the point to where we don't serve. I will serve when things get right for me. We can't have that mentality. We can't have the mentality of I'll be righteous when I get a promise first. No. That's not charity. The security comes because the Most High said, hey, you were bought with a price. Okay? Make sure that whole idea of I need to know that I'm the elect, then I'll give my all. The men of the Lord can't have that mindset. You got to have the mindset of just going in. Okay? Certain situations are not going to be the way that we want. But we got to make sure that we have this idea of brotherly love, charity now. I want to go through some examples, some carnal examples that's in the scriptures. I just had, went through a couple of things. I wrote down a couple of things. Let me get them, put them in my phone. I wrote down 2 Corinthians 8:20. I'm going to read it. It says, avoiding this, that no man should blame us in this. Note that no man should blame us in this abundance which is administered by us, providing for honest things, not only in the sight of the Lord, but also in the sight of men. Okay? We have set with them our brother, whom we have oftentimes Prove diligent in many things, but now much more diligent upon the great confidence which I have in you. And when you read the scripture here in Second Corinthians, Paul is in 2 Corinthians 8:9, it's talking about just giving of alms, tithing, making sure that the ministry can flow. And we want to make sure that we're doing that. We want to be prudent in our time. We want to be prudent in our resources and what we bring to the table, so that the ministry be not blamed. Okay. Now, one of the greatest is that I love using Acts 4 and 5 when it led into Ananias and Sapphira in chapter 5 of Acts. But the whole point of this thing is when his words start going out, I want brothers and sisters to understand, none of these people knew each other. Acts 4:32, and the multitude of them that believed were of one heart and of one soul, but they didn't know each other like that. But they came in with a mindset of, we agree on this. One heart and of one soul. Neither said any of them that all of the things which he possessed was his own, but they had all things common. And with great power gave the apostles witness of the resurrection of Yahushua HaMashiach. And great grace was upon them all. Neither was there any among them that lacked, for as many as were possessors of lands or houses sold them, and brought the prices of the things that were sold, and laid them down at the apostles' feet, and distribution was made unto every man according to as he had need. Do you know how heavy that is? You realize that this is the truth, and then you just come amongst a body of people and you sell your lands and all your stuff to make sure that this word goes out. We have to come with that same mindset, man. We got to come with that same energy, especially coming into the times that we're in. Okay, especially coming to the times that we're in. We have to make sure that we're willing to put it all on the line. Okay, with charity, so that all of these prophecies that we believe in, all these things that we know, we're putting it on the line, man. And that's going to require you spending more time with the brothers than you spend with your family, spending more time with the ministry than you are at work. Your mind is going to put this as a priority. Your resources and your energy is going to go to the ministry as a priority. And you know what that's going to do? That's going to probably make the people that's close to you or that is around you, they're going to resent that. They're going to look at the truth and they're going to subconsciously resent it. They're not going to necessarily know why, but they will. Well, you'll get it all back in the kingdom. Okay? Many fold over. Many fold over. Okay? But right now, we need to pour ourselves into this because it's about to get tighter and tighter and tighter. So we're cultivating that mindset right now with these words. So when the actual situation happens, we don't go crazy. We don't get angry. We don't get resentful of the world and things that we have in the world. Okay? Check this out. All right? Check this out. In Acts 11:28, it says, and there stood up one of them named Agabus, and signified by the Spirit that there should be a great dearth. That's a famine, like a drought with a famine, a dearth throughout the world, which came to pass in the days of Claudius Caesar. Now, a dearth is getting ready to come. Food shortages, famines, energy prices is going to go up. It's about to get real bad out here. So what's the mindset that the men of the Lord had? Verse 29, then the disciples, every man according to his ability, determined to send relief unto the brethren which dwelt in Judea. They determined to send relief, to come together. All right. But if you have a mindset of being a whole ass nigga, that adversity is going to expose that energy. Right? Now, going back to Acts 5:1, but a certain man named Ananias with Sapphira, his wife, sold a possession and kept back part of the price, his wife also being privy of it, and brought a certain part and laid it at the apostles' feet. And Peter said, Ananias, why have Satan filled thine heart to lie to the Holy Spirit and to keep back part of the price of the land? Whilst it remained, was it not thine own? And after it was sold, was it not in thine own power? Why hast thou conceived this thing in thine heart, that thou hast not lied unto men, but unto the Most High? And Ananias, hearing these words fell down and gave up the ghost, and great fear came on all them that heard these things. You see that? You see that? That's a heavy thing right there. That's a heavy thing right there. So, he kept back part. Sometimes when we are dealing with the brotherhood, and we're being strained out a little bit, like we're being pushed. A part of us is kind of we're kind of being pushed a little bit, to where it's like, oh man, brothers is like in my house, in my crib, or brothers might be asking for more funds, or situations is going down, and you want to keep back part. You don't want to have that spirit. That spirit right now, all of us need to make sure that we're working on that. We don't want to be caught up in that type of energy and thinking that, because probably Ananias and Sapphira, they didn't think it was a big deal. It was their land, it was their stuff, it was their money, and they sold it. And they said, "Man, we ain't like, let's give this part. We're gonna keep this because I want to do this, I want to do that. Boom, 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 and then I'm probably gonna flip this. Then I'll bring back more. Boom, 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 boom. He might have had some entrepreneurial scheme, but at that time, no. The Most High was like, "I'll put all the stuff in the pot, bro." But the spirit wasn't having it. The spirit wasn't having it. So you don't want to have that whole ass ninja mentality walk into the times of Jacob's trouble. Okay, that's why I'm reading these scriptures, and this is really for camps. Individual camps, brothers that are in camps. Deal with your camp. Make sure y'all camp. Y'all moving together. Y'all moving together as a unit. Yeah, of course, we got the regions and brothers coordinate, and we talk to each other, and we have those lines of communication. But hey, if you got 3 or more brothers in your camp, y'all should be having something going on with each other. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Let's put this, boom, let's put this here, let's put this here, all of us together for whatever might happen, man. And you're not living your life recklessly to where it's just like, anything that happened, you thrown off for the whole month. You threw, oh, bro, man. I sneezed too hard this week. I ran out of tissues. Can I borrow $25? Like, come on, bro. And I'm not saying everybody's gonna be balling. No, certain brothers gonna have certain situations, but you know what you got, and you know what you got means to. I always make this point. Do you got I live by myself money? Or do you need a room? Do you need a roommate? Be real with yourself. We're not in the times where you should be like trying to splurge in the type of way. Like, if you ain't got it like that, be mindful, because what you do affects the body. What you do affects the other man next to you. Okay? And if you live, if you do, it will affect your charity. It will affect your willingness to have brotherly love. And that the spirit will expose that. You do not want to be on the battlefield with a selfish energy and mindset. It can get you and the man next to you killed. Okay? Be mindful. Be mindful. Okay? 1 Peter 4:8, and above all things have fervent charity among yourselves, for charity shall cover the multitude of sins. The works that we have amongst this body covers a multitude of sins. We all have our individual faults and things that we need to work on and things that can be called out. But our sincerity towards making sure that the brothers in the camp, brothers that's next to us, our sincerity towards making sure everybody's good shows unto Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Like Yahushua said, man. When I was thirsty, you brought me water. When I was hungry, you brought me food. When I was in prison, you came and visited me. And they was like, who did that? Well, you did it to your brother, so you did it unto me. So when you treat your brother good, the reward as far as glorifying Yahweh is there. The brotherly love is there. Okay? And it's displayed. I remember when I first went to New York, and I first got to sit amongst the apostles and elders. One of the first things that stood out so powerful to me, and at the time it was Ahmad Shabala, who was a former head of this camp, was the charity and brotherly love that the apostles had amongst each other, how they served each other, how they made sure each person was taken care of from Apostle Harlem down. And we was just like, bet. We're gonna take that back to Dallas. We're gonna take that back to Dallas. I ain't never seen nothing like that before. I've never seen it. Brothers move like that, talk to each other that way, and make sure, brother, you good, and on that before they even got a sip of water, they make sure everybody else had a sip of water first, or a sip of wine, whatever, piece of chicken. And according to the hard work that the men put in, the years, the dedication, the sincerity, that charity was there. And through the Spirit, over all these years, we've tried to, or no, we haven't tried. We have shown that same hospitality. All right, verse 9, it says, use hospitality one to another without grudging. Are you grudging all the time when you're using hospitality? Somebody brother comes there, it's just like you might be the single brother in the camp. So you the single brother, you ain't got no woman in your house, you ain't got no kids in your house. So your house is up for somebody. If somebody come in town, say, hey, brother, can this brother stay with you? Yeah, brother can stay with me. 2 days later, man, sure wish that somebody else put their house up. Grudging. Well, then you cutting off the blessing that comes with the charity, brother. You doing it grudging, man. That's kind of some whole ass nigga stuff right there. It says use hospitality without grudging. You use hospitality with joy, right? Right? It's the word hospitality.
Strong's G 5382. Philoxenos.
Hospitable, generous of guests. I see that word philo, love. You probably break it down and get real deep into it. There's xenos, right? Foreigner, stranger, love of a stranger, love of a guest. Philoxenos. Hospitality, lover of guests, lover of strangers, lover of somebody coming in town, brother doing that. You might have a situation where, we in Texas, last land of the free. Through the Spirit, it's kind of like, we kind of expecting a lot of brothers to probably flood towards the southern states. So we understand, hey, there might come a time where we got this camp, that camp coming down, and they ain't leaving. Where they gonna stay at? You gonna make them pay for a hotel? No. We just gonna be all on top of each other. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. These type of things are mulling around our head. Apostle Ricardo, but we might be in the wilderness somewhere. We don't know what's gonna happen. But you want to have this spirit inside of your heart when it happens, and not no begrudging, grumpy, whole ass nigga spirit. Okay? You don't go into these times acting like that, man. Most High might kill you. I don't want to die. I know you don't want to die. Right? Verse 10, it says, as every man have received the gift, even so minister the same one to another, as good stewards of the manifold grace of the Most High. Right? So whatever gift you bring, you serve one to another. Whatever you have, you bring to the table, bring it to the table. You bring it with joy. Okay? Whatever it is, brothers got all different types of things they bring to the table. I'm using this, hyperinflation, gas prices, food shortages as an example, because it's literally physical and right in our face. So we got to be mindful of that. But these things are getting ready to happen on a more serious situation. Now, there's another side to this. If you live in your life recklessly, and then you just being reckless, and you're not planning, you don't communicate, you just all over the place, but you, hey brothers, man, I need $1,000, man. I didn't know, man. I didn't know this, I didn't know that. I'm the brother that's gonna be like, no, you're not getting that. No. But I will game plan with you. What are you gonna do? it's gonna hurt. You finna have to. I'm hurt. You gonna be hurt because we ain't giving you no 1,000 because you BSing. Okay, but I'll game plan with you if you need help because clearly your mindset is not there. So there's another side to it. You know, so what I'm talking about charity, I'm talking about general, sincere situations that's happening and flowing within the camps. Those things are going to happen more as things get more and more tight. Brothers that's used to being out on the island by themselves, no, that's not the purpose of this body is for protection, not for you to be able to sit out on the island and just pop up at camp and do some lessons. And when it's chicken eating time, you tune in. You're gonna have to get more on point with bringing this thing around, okay? Being a part of this thing, okay? It's just the way that it go. Just the way did it go? Where did it go? Let me read this in the NIV. NIV been going in. So 1 Corinthians 16:1 says, now about the collection for the Lord's people, do what I told the Galatian churches to do. On the first day of every week, each one of you should set aside a sum of money in keeping with your income, saving it up, so that when I come, no collections will have to be made. Then when I arrive, I will give letters of introduction to the men you approve and send them with your gift to Jerusalem. See that? So he set up tithing systems, and brothers that we've gone to and talked to the heads of the camp. So each camp should have a particular tithing system for your camp. But this is about creating provision mindset. The provision is the brotherhood. Like what's the us coming together? It was provision for the times to come. Us as brothers, as churches, like individually in the camps coming together right now is provision. Let's get that word provision. The action of providing or supplying something for use. An amount of something supplied or providing. Supply with food, drink, or equipment. Set aside an amount in an organization's accounts for a known liability, for something that you're going to have to pay later. Provision. The brotherhood is a provision for the times to come. Other people in the world ain't got this, what we got. This is powerful, what we have. The assembling of this body is extremely powerful in a hedge against times of trouble. And the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that's amongst that body makes it supercharged. To be a part of this body is a privilege, an honor. Okay, it's a privilege, it is an honor, and it puts us in a ridiculously good position for the times to come. Okay, so make sure that we need to make sure we're developing a mindset of charity. Okay, brother put John 13:35. By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples, if ye have love one to another. That is charity. That is brotherly love. Agape love, as they talk about. Okay? Taking care of one another. Have that mindset. Make sure you're developing that mindset. And the only thing you can continue to do to develop that mindset is associating with the brothers. We all didn't know each other before this truth. Get around the Akia. Right? There's a provision there in the spirit. Okay? So I'm not going to beat a dead horse, as they say. I just wanted to come and touch on that point real quick, man. Lord willing, it was edifying and made sense, man. Call halal Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah by Hashem Rakah HaKodash. Send double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone once again. Much peace, love, and salutations to y'all. Came out there pushing the word in sincerity and truth. Shalom.